What's up, everybody? This is Bob's Three-Toed Warriors from Studio 1329 with the Word on the Street Season 1, Episode 4, titled It's Easy Breezy. Why did I pick that show title, you ask? Because today with me, I have Breezy from the Sons of Dynasty.
Breezy.
Breezy.
There's
no R in there.
No.
I take that all back. It's still easy breezy, just not easy breezy
you could go with that.
Dude,
I
got Breezy with me.
They all get it, man. They all get it.
Damn it.
No, dude,
From the Sons of Dynasty and the Untouchables joining me on the show. What's up, buddy? And now that I've corrected your name, or you've corrected me on your name, I'm pumped to have you on the show anyway, sir. What's going on?
Not too much, my man. How you doing?
I am great.
We got like I said, people call me Breezy all the time. It's just part of what it is. So
wow,
we're good.
How did I mess that up? Thank you, Twitter. All right, so we're going to cheers to me now saying your name right. I'm going to do it with my unofficial sponsor, Mr. Jack Daniels, and you've got Mr.
Right.
Gatorade there.
Well, boom. There we go.
Gatorade Zero. That's the good stuff, though.
I got to keep the sugar out, my man.
There you go. I'm right with you. We'll talk about that after the show.
Absolutely.
So you can watch the show on YouTube. Just look for Bob's Three-Toed Warriors and subscribe there. You can catch the podcast on Spotify, Podbean, Google Podcasts, and now on Apple iTunes. So don't forget to go subscribe, give me that 5-star rating, all that wonderful things that we always say. Please and thank you. Breezy, tell the listeners how they can find you, sir.
So you can find me on Twitter. I'm at the BZBFF. I'm also part of the Sons of Dynasty, so you can find me over there. And I'm also part of the Undroppables, so you can find me over there at the Undroppables.
Okay. Today's show, we're going to cover preseason hype, some dynasty rankings, Breezy's fiery hot takes, some listener question, and a few redraft steals. So we're going to get that going. Before we do, why don't you tell me a little bit about Sons of Dynasty and the Undroppables.
All right. Well, real quick, Sons of Dynasty was a project that I had kind of put together, and I brought on my man D Brown off Twitter. Yeah. So him and I kind of started it up. We got a couple things going, but it's a slower process with this. We're just kind of building it and just seeing where we can go. And then recently we just brought on a Dynasty dude, brother Matt. So he's an awesome addition, and he's actually part of one of the hot takes today.
Okay.
Pretty funny. So,
okay.
And then, we're working that. And then we ended up getting into another project. It's a bigger thing going on with the Undroppables. This is going to be insane, I think. Okay. These guys, I love them all. This was created by Chalk 101 and FF Terminator.
Okay.
They brought on myself. They brought on Poly Sleepers, Dino Game Theory, D Brown, Stoner, Moose. We just brought on Blake Hampton, who's a phenomenal analytics guy. And we got our new doctor, Adam Hutchinson. So
there's a doctor in the house.
Yeah, we got to get some injury stuff going on. And,
sure.
It seems to be a big thing going on. This kid's phenomenal. He's got a really good itch for it, and he just lays it out clean, makes sense. So we're really excited to have him on board.
Awesome. Okay. That's fantastic. So, with all that NFL practice hype videos coming out, are you excited? Because I sure as hell am.
Dude, I'm so excited. It's, we needed this.
Starting to smell like NFL. Yeah.
We need this, something fierce right now. And them keeping the draft on schedule and doing all that, that was a huge, huge thing for just sports in general.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I didn't put this in the show doc, but there's a series of training videos that I just can't get behind. I don't know if you know whose training videos that'd be, but you want to take one guess? Whose training videos have you seen on Twitter and you just can't get behind them?
Let me guess. It's either going to be, would it be Miles Sanders?
No. It's quarterback.
Tua.
Nah. All right, so Jameis Winston.
Okay.
I don't get it. Dodgeball, dodging the medicine ball edition, home run derby, broomstick edition.
Yeah, the guy's going nuts.
I know. He's making the Gardner Minshew crappy 5-10-yard highlight reel look good. And
that was my next guess was Minshew, dude. I was like,
I'm like, okay, he's moving around the pocket. He's being, he's being agile. He's throwing on the run. Okay, that all looks pretty good. And I'm like, I haven't seen a pass past 10, 15 yards. Granted, all the way across the field, which you should never do because it's instant interception. But
yeah,
you know.
Oh yeah, but I like Gardner this year. I don't. We'll see what happens with him. I think he's got a big year to prove himself. So
at this moment, it looks like they're getting him a shot. So him
getting rid of Foles
right?
was getting rid of Foles was pretty big. So hey,
yeah.
See what happens.
All right. So I said we were going to talk about some dynasty ranks.
Yes, sir.
The format that you have for us today on the overall ranking, I believe it was Superflex, correct?
It is. Yeah. So at the undroppables, that's what we pretty much we've changed everything over Superflex. It's just the way to go right now.
Sure. Seems to be trending.
It is. I think it's going to become the new leagues in the future here, and we're going to see less of one quarterback and all that. So that's kind of where we've shifted. So we did everything Superflex.
And then what about the scoring? 4, 6 point.
We usually do 6 point for quarterback.
Okay, and then half full PPR, no PPR. What's the scenario there?
This is full PPR. The rankings that you got. So
all right, cool. Well, we're gonna hope to get through the second, third round. And this is dynasty rankings, not redraft.
Not redraft.
So let's take a look because dynasty startups are still going on. So it's a good time to talk about it. So let's fire it up with number 1 on your list.
All right.
And some of these players will go in more detail. Some of these players will be like, yep, makes sense.
just go right down it.
Yeah, it's hit number 1 and shoot on down and see if we can get to 24, 36, somewhere in that area. So
all right. So overall, our number 1, obviously my number 1 pick is Patrick Mahomes. It's guaranteed money. There's nothing to really go around with that.
Nope. Great quarterback, great arm. I don't think anybody's questioning you for a second on that one.
No, and in Andy Reid's system, he's just going to continue to get better. They're just adding pieces. I mean, with getting CEH,
Oh yeah. Yep. The rich get richer.
Loaded, and they do.
All right, number 2.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, not a surprise.
Again, best running back in football, hands down. Just the volumes there in the rushing game and the passing game. Just an elite asset. You got to have him up there too. I mean,
especially in PPR.
Of course, and it's just I get Superflex. People get so onto the quarterbacks in Superflex. You got to be able to see where the value is all over the place, and those quarterbacks will fall later. Yeah. So keep that in mind.
Would you any concern about the heavy duty massive workloads slowing down or leading towards more injury? Everybody can get injured before we even start this. Everyone can get injured. We know that, but because of the workload.
They're all, of course. I mean, we always talk about it, but I mean, until we really see it,
he's holding up so far.
He has, and you got to give him that. I think they're going to take a little bit of workload off of him, but I wouldn't expect it to be like,
massive,
drastic change where it's going to knock him down 10 spots.
Even that won't kill him. So
no, exactly.
Number 3,
Saquon Barkley.
Absolutely. Another running back off the board.
Yep, another stud running back. He's going to give you it all: passing game, receiving game. Running game.
Yeah.
Kid's just a stud, and that offense is getting better. Second year under Daniel Jones, they got the receivers back. Should see a big. If he stays healthy this year. I mean, that ankle injury killed him last year. That was
It did.
But I mean, I think he's locked and loaded at that 3 spot.
I can buy it. Who we got next?
All right, we got Michael Thomas.
I've heard of that
at
guy.
The 4 spot. Yeah, stud wide receiver. Get him while you can. I mean, this is going to be his last year with Breeze probably. So,
but it's going to be his first year with Emmanuel Sanders.
Oh man, the Emmanuel Sanders talk. I could see him being, relevant. Obviously, he could be a wide receiver 3, maybe a wide receiver 2 at best, but Michael Thomas is going to eat, and Drew Brees is going to feed his horse. That's what he always does.
Oh, yeah. He knows where to find him on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Number 5, Devontae Adams. That could be a little bit of a, people are shifting on that one, but.
Yeah, I took a little breath in as you said it.
Of course, and I get that too. And for me, it's whenever you doubt Rodgers, that's when he usually comes through and just lights it up. Now,
just because he's pissed.
They pissed him off. I mean, they did. You all know it. And they drafted not a single receiver. They brought in Devin Funchess, who, whatever.
Another tight end. Got it.
Yes, exactly. He is going to get pummeled with targets. And I think he is just going to have a phenomenal year in that Green Bay offense. So I'm going to ride him as much as I can for the next few years.
I dig it. Next up,
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. But
Now,
he gets injured all the time.
So last year was kind of my claim to fame. You know, this is a guy I came on Twitter and I was like, Dalvin Cook is going to be a top 5 RB. Okay. And, 2019, everybody was like, you're an idiot. You know how it goes. This guy can't stay healthy.
Right.
Well, obviously it happened.
He did.
And the thing is with Dalvin is you got to understand there's risk there. Now, last year when I was drafting Dalvin, I was getting him in the second round of dynasty startups. This year, you got to get him in the first, which
got to pay the price.
You do. So you got to take that into consideration, and you want to make sure at some point you handcuff him with Madison just to give you that out if you need it. But the thing is he is absolutely a top 3 running back when he is on the field, and he produces like one. Yeah. And he's phenomenal. I love the guy.
It doesn't hurt. The system he is in currently seems to be like, I paid a lot for a quarterback, I paid a lot for a wide receiver, and we don't care. We just want to run the ball.
That's basically what it is. I mean, they're a run heavy team. They put out the 2 tight ends and they just pound the ball. But the thing that was nice too is they were using him in the passing game a lot.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about Cousins is he does target Dalvin quite a few times a game, and you get him in space, and it's you've seen it. He's lights out. So, but now again, you got to watch. You got to assume he's going to miss 3 games. You know what I mean? That's just kind of the gimme. So, riding it high right there.
Yeah, that's okay. I haven't really disagreed yet, so keep them coming.
All right, you ready? Number 7, Lamar Jackson.
Okay, I was waiting for Lamar to pop in here.
So, I mean, obviously lower than maybe a few people have him, but I mean, he's probably the most exciting player in football right now. Kid brings it all. I mean, he's just he's a jackknife out there. He's just rushing, passing. I think he's only going to get better. And I still value Mahomes higher than I do Lamar.
Because of the arm.
Because of the arm. Just the offense. The coach, yeah. And then you always people are going to say it, so I'll just say it too. I mean, you always got to worry about the rushing quarterback and the injury.
Sure. So, yep. It's true, but he's a big, bulky guy, so he'll be fine.
He is, and I love they added J.K. Dobbins to that offense. That is just
that's gonna be exciting. I don't know Mark Ingram's gonna let him play, but we'll see.
Not this year, but buy J.K. Dobbins for 21. That's the key.
There you go.
All right.
Go. Try and pick him up later in the season when he hasn't done much.
That's kind of what's going to happen. People are going to, how this happens every year in Dynasty. People get on a hype. You buy him at a high cost during the rookie startups.
Yep.
Let them sit.
Yep.
Let them marinate. And all of a sudden when the season comes along and they're only doing, they've had like maybe 2 good games. They've had 6 bad. That's when you strike on them.
Yeah. Or they're just bench warming.
Yeah.
Because the starter is still being the starter.
Exactly. So. And you get it for half the price. And it is what it is. It's just such a good strategy.
Yeah.
All right. So where are we at? We just
after Lamar.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go Ezekiel Elliott at number 8.
That guy's a beast.
So so you can tell I'm a little bit higher on running backs, obviously, and especially in Dynasty. It's you want to get those guys that are workhorses in their systems, and Zeke's going to eat this year. That's what he's going to see in the passing game. You would think that it would be a little bump up from the previous year, but we'll see. I still think he is an easy top 4 back in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I have a Dynasty league I'm in, and the guy has Saquon, Zeke, and Cook.
Oh.
It's not PPR, so that helps us, I think, a little. I don't know because they don't get all the catch bonuses there. But damn, it's just not pretty. It's not pretty.
Yeah, that's a hard one, dude. It's
yeah. So it's gonna be fun. Next up.
So at number 9, we're going Chris Godwin.
Number 9, Chris Godwin. This one I was like, okay.
A little spicy.
Okay, a little spicy.
Okay.
Spicy. Some nachos with that.
So, Arians has a great offense.
No biscuit.
Exactly. And then he loves to use that slot guy. And he was peppering Godwin all year last year. Now, I think when Brady comes in, Brady's going to do the exact same thing. I think
But Brady doesn't like the slot guy, right? He loves
that's what they say, right?
He loves him.
You know, I love Godwin moving forward with Brady for at least the next 2 years. I think he's going to get peppered with targets, kind of take over that Julian Edelman type role that Brady likes, and see where that goes from there. So I'm pretty high on Godwin this year.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yep. Let's see, number 10. This could be a little spicy.
Okay.
All right.
My mouth's still cooling down from the last one.
Joe Mixon, baby.
Joe Mixon. That's not super spicy. The guy has talent. He has talent, man.
He does. And so last year when I was doing my startups, my first round pick in almost every startup, because for some weird reason I kept getting the 110 to 112.
Because you keep winning?
Yeah.
Oh, no, startups. Sorry.
It's all startups, dude. All startups. So I would grab Mixon in the first, Dalvin in the second. That's been my stack on half my dynasties. I love it.
Yeah, sure.
So Mixon is by far one of my favorite buys this year because he had that first half of the year last year where he had, he wasn't doing much. But that Cincinnati Bengals offense was so terrible. That line was down to like third and fourth string tackles, guards, garbage. That second half of the season, what he was doing, there might only be 2 other running backs in the NFL that can do that. The way he was getting out of those plays was incredible. This kid is only going to get better as that offense gets better.
Yeah, so, and they're definitely in a spot to get better, which is pretty cool. Finally, for the Bengals, looks. I don't have to squint to see it. It looks like they should have a chance here to be quite a bit better. So
and all over Mixon, over Mixon.
Yeah, my 2 dynasty leagues I'm in, the same owner drafted Mixon in both of them, and he's on his game, and I'm not gonna be able to pry him from him, not without paying the price I don't want to pay.
No, I got lucky drafting him last year, and I went heavy on him when he was having his bad games because I knew the talent was there.
Right.
And so I have
take the discount.
What is it? 80% ownership of Mixon throughout all my leagues right now, out of the 30 something.
Back up. Rewind. Yeah. I have 80% ownership of Mixon out of my how many leagues did you say, sir?
30 plus.
Damn, son. 30 plus leagues. That's crazy.
That should say it. That should say it right there, my man. Like, I'm all in.
Oh, there you go.
That's my 2020. That's my 2020 bay right there.
And then I'm pretty sure when you just went like that with your hands, for those on YouTube, do that one more time. Go like this. I see the wedding ring. She hasn't murdered yet, so that's good.
No. No, she was my inspiration for doing all this stuff. She kept me going for it and helped me get to where I'm at today. So
that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Great to have a partner to support you. That's awesome.
Absolutely, my man. Awesome.
All right. That was Mixon. Who got next?
All right, number 11. We're gonna go D-Hop. We're gonna go Hopkins. Okay. I've been struggling with him a little bit because he is obviously a wide receiver one. He's talented. The guy's got so much talent. He's a phenomenal wide receiver.
Yep.
My biggest question for him is the volume he's going to get in Arizona.
With the spread out offense and hitting everybody and not caring, just hitting the open guy.
You got Drake there. You got Kirk there. Isabella. Who knows what they're going to do? So
Pops is still out there with his Walker, Fitzgerald catching balls.
Oh, Larry Fitz. How can you forget Larry Fitz?
Walker in one hand, ball in the other. Let's go.
Exactly, man. The guy's a legend. I love Larry, dude. Right out of freaking Pitt, man. He's my boy.
Yeah, but I feel like everybody has that concern with the target share.
Mm-hmm. And I know, like I said, we could be completely off on that, and he could end up seeing 150, 160 targets. But
sure,
I'm going to still hold him, up there. But I'm also he could drop a little bit for me as we go into the season and see how this wide receiver room works out a little bit more too.
Yeah, but I will say this much: if the coach is smart, the last time I bought a Lamborghini, I stopped driving my Pinto and drove my Lamborghini more.
Fair enough.
That's a fake story, but it's just an analogy.
But you get exactly what it's coming at, though. You know what I mean? Like, they brought him in for a reason. Yeah. You think they're going to want to feed the beast? Feed him.
Yep.
But again, we'll have to see how that all plays out. But I still, obviously, he's too talented not to get the ball to. So.
All right, we're at number 11, right?
No, we're actually number 12.
Number 12, last pick of the first round. Let's see what we got.
Dak Prescott.
Scott.
Yes.
I can buy it. I can see it right now.
Obviously, there's a lot of hype behind it, and
the train is taking off.
It is.
Did you take it?
And, he's there's no denying he's in one of the best situations in football right now. He's got a stud running back. He's got a stud offensive line, up and coming tight end, and now he's got Amari, Gallup, which
I love Gallup.
I do too. The CeeDee Lamb. I love CeeDee Lamb, but that pick pissed me off.
Yeah,
I was so about Gallup this year, dude. I was riding it. I was like, ah. Yeah. But you know what? I still think that there's plenty of targets to go around for all three of them. So we'll see how it goes. But in terms of Dak, he's just set up for success. This should be all him. He should be running that offense.
He's got the team. He's got the weapons. He's got
Should be.
Here's a question. And did you bump him up an extra spot or two just because he has one of the best warm-up videos out there?
I did. Yes, the shake, dude.
The shake, the hip shake. I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what it is either, but that's what put him to number 3 after, that was the difference between him and Kyler for me. So.
Okay. Oh, we just got a spoiler alert in there. All right. Let's go to the second round. First person in the second round, number 13.
So we're going to go Alvin Kamara. So I know a lot of people are a little bit down on Kamara after last year, but again, we had high ankle injury, and that's pretty much what, did it for him. This guy he's going to eat again this year. He's going to become a top 5 back in no time, and it's just going to happen. I mean, he's too talented not to. Sean Payton knows how to use him. They get him involved in the passing game. I mean, he's had every year since he's been in the league, he's been over 90 targets. He's a stud. He's going to continue to be a stud, and if he stays healthy, he's going to crawl right back up into that zone.
I can totally buy that. Absolutely. Matter of fact, he's a little bit of value for people in startups, I'd say.
I would absolutely, because I've gotten him in a few spots where I was like, ooh, I should have got Kamara right there, but I jumped. All right, you ready for a little controversy probably? Juju Smith-Schuster at 14.
Oh, Juju.
Now, I love Juju. That's my boy. I saw, as you can see from behind me, that's the Steelers right there.
I do. I see that, yes.
And I got a Big Ben up here, so I'm a Steelers fan. So, call me.
I'm a Broncos fan. Let's go AFC West.
All right.
Got a little Warren Moon, Campbell, Manning Davis.
Man. Nice wall.
Believe in Pete Rose.
So, I like it.
So talking about gambling, let's talk about Juju.
Oh boy. So this is one of the hardest ones because I was a huge believer on last year. I had him in the top 5 last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm popping it back up. I'm popping it back up again. They did. That quarterback play was terrible. I mean, they had Rudolph and Duck. Come on.
So bad. We're gonna skip quarterback play and let's go Wildcat for a whole game almost. That's a little sarcasm, but
for them to put together that defense and then to have that quarterback issue going into last year was so frustrating because they are right on the verge of something great.
Yeah.
Or potentially getting there.
Yeah.
Bring back Big Ben.
Yeah, Juju has some sick skill. That's not even a question. It's not even a doubt. Is Ben grabbing hold of him? Because that little hype video they did made it look like he's going to grab hold of him and say, all right, you boys need to scoot to the side. I know I got 3 other wide receivers here that are decent.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do. They have a lot of wide receiver weapons. And then that whole little tweet about he's not going to be around next year. They're going to let him go. It is a confusing offense. For Dynasty. For redraft, I can see it being a total, all right, let's go for it. For Dynasty, I can see the scare.
The motivation that Juju has to get that second contract with Pittsburgh, I think he wants to stay in Pittsburgh. He loves Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I think that was just a little bit to put a fire up his ass.
Okay.
And to get him back on track. The thing is everyone's going to say, they say it all the time, Juju was good because of Antonio Brown. Oh, listen,
taking the heat away.
Of course. It doesn't matter how good or how bad you are, whatever. You do not put up a 1,400-yard season if you were just a mediocre wide receiver on a team. That doesn't happen. Juju is a special player. He is going to be super efficient if he works out of the slot where he is meant to be.
Sure.
If they put him on the outside, he may struggle.
Well, but they've got enough weapons that can play the outside.
They do. They're going to put Deontay out there. They can put Washington out there. Juju in the slot. Love. And I think he's going to bounce back in a big way this year, and I'm really excited for it.
Absolutely. Number 15?
Kenny G.
Kenny Galladay.
Yes.
Sorry, you'll learn that's a thing.
Yep. the smoothness of the routes, dude.
I'm not as smooth as the route things. It actually starts because I am a Bronco fan, And we used to have little tiny Holiday returning kicks for us.
Yep.
And I'd be like, Holiday. And it just turned into Galladay. And it's out there in the world already from other people too. But yes, I love Kenny Galladay. And I love Matt Stafford this year.
Yes.
As a rebound, barring having more back injuries. But he was on fire before he got hurt. And that could be huge for Kenny Galladay.
Love. I think he's going to take it. He's going wide receiver. He's going to be a wide receiver 1 next year coming off the boards.
Absolutely.
And he's still young, so he's just getting into his prime.
Let's move on to the next one and keep these rolling, see if we can get through all 3 rounds.
All right, brother. We got Kyler Murray at number 16.
Kyler Murray, that's wide receiver, quarterback 4, correct?
Quarterback 4, yes.
Okay.
So, obviously going into a second year in the system, I mean, this is going to be a big year for him because Kingsbury's going to open it up and they're just going to fly. Yeah. And I think he's just going to have a big year. They got him loaded with weapons. Offensive line is, but could be worse.
That just gives him a chance to show off those legs.
There it is. He is the only one of the only quarterbacks in here that could put up a Lamar Jackson-like season. Not as crazy because I don't think anybody can do that as like Lamar, but
you're also not paying them Lamar price tag either.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So moving on down a little bit, number 17, we got Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek, the freak.
This everybody hates Tyreek.
You sound like you have reserves. You have reserves? Do I hear reserves?
Tad.
Okay.
I love his upside. Obviously the guy has got that ceiling that's out of control.
Out of control.
And again, will he stay out of trouble? Will he be
character issues? Got it.
That's a big.
If you're not a drama guy, you might want to avoid him.
Exactly. And you know what though? He did get banged up a little bit last year. He still had a good season. Don't get me wrong, but he was taking some hits, and it was showing.
He's a little guy.
He is a little guy. So, how long does that last? I mean, granted, he usually doesn't get hit hard because he's usually running by people because he's so damn fast.
He also usually doesn't get hit hard because he's usually off the ground when he's getting hit. He just goes flying.
He does. It's fair. He's a guy that I like a lot, and you have to have him there because of his upside. But
I love him. You got to understand that you don't necessarily want him being your consistency number 1 guy,
right?
But if you can slide him into your number 2 spot,
game over.
Because his bad weeks aren't that bad. Typically, they're even on a bad week, it's usually high single digits, low double digits. But on his boom weeks, it's boom.
Forget about it.
Hashtag 30, boom 40 says Bob weeks.
There it is, baby. There it is. All right, so we're at number 18. One of my favorite running backs coming up here again. I'm a little bit running back heavy. This is how I do. Miles Sanders.
Let's go.
Miles Sanders. Let's go, baby. Big opportunity for this.
There is someone that everybody is having drama about this year, and I understand it. I can see it. I get it. It's a RBBC. It's only because the wide receivers were all hurt. These are facts. We can't argue. These are facts. Let's just see.
That's what you got to do. I mean, what are you gonna? I mean, he's slated up to get a big workload. I know RBBC, but who do they have? I mean, Boston Scott right now. What, are they gonna bring in a running back? They bring in LaShawn McCoy. Okay,
come on, it's LaShawn.
Let's go. he's gonna see a lot more work than people are thinking. And even if he if he sees the same work he saw last year, he still put up efficient enough numbers to where he's gonna be just fine. So
yeah.
All right. And we are about to go with our first rookie on the board, Jonathan Taylor. Let's just ride this guy. He's, landing in a huge spot, and Indy's got a massive line. Phillip Rivers, you know how he does. Mr. Check down, all that stuff.
Sure.
He's not looking to go out there and sling it all day. He's going to hand it off to the stud. And this guy is just – he
allegedly wants to play more than just one season.
Yes, he does.
Allegedly. He still has the MAC in front of him. He still has the current verbiage of, Naheem Hines is going to have a 10-game
reception.
Not 10 every week. Just some
one game.
Week.
Just
one have it.
It's like, oh, cool. So I'm not a Marlon Mack fan. I never have been. I've always been fading him. So when this pick happened, it just, to me, that's Marlon Mack grave. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel. So
sure. Now, do you feel like that's for this season, mid-season this season, or more for next season?
I feel like it's going to happen mid-season this year. I think that they're just not going to be able to keep Jonathan Taylor off the field because I think he's going to be that good in that behind that offensive line. I think he's just going to tear it up. So again, they're just going to run it and kind of let Rivers do a little dink and dunk game and see which wide receiver steps out there and does whatever.
Sure.
All right, number 20, DJ Moore. Big fan of DJ Moore.
I am not a big fan of DJ Moore. I don't listen. Right. I don't question every metric and every tape that exists for him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've just never bought personally into him. I've never owned him, and it's just one of those things that it's just a bias, and then everybody's on the total train for him, and so because of that, I created this internal hate for him. That'll probably keep me from drafting him. I don't actually dislike anything about him or where you ranked him. So
no, it's just one of those things, man. He saw 135 targets last year, and and that was with some pretty bad quarterback play. So is Teddy Bridgewater like the next great thing? No, but he's good enough to get the job done.
And I don't think Michael Thomas hated Teddy Bridgewater that much.
He sure did not. And who was DJ Moore's phone? Kyle Allen, was it? Is that who it was?
He had a little mismatch of bull crap in there.
It's an upgrade. So he should see at least 140 targets this year from Teddy B.
And Robbie Anderson taking the top off will not hurt.
No, and you got Curtis Samuel still there too. Yeah. So
they get to me. Go Robbie. Robbie for life.
Robbie for life. There's a lot of controversy about that Robbie Curtis Samuel thing too.
Yes.
All right, let's go 21. Russell Wilson.
Oh, Russ, that man is insane.
You gotta love him, dude. You gotta love him.
Yes.
So, I mean, what's there to say about Russell Wilson? He's gonna be a baller. They're saying he's trying to get them to throw more, which I like.
There you go. I'm saying there's one thing you can say is let him do his damn job. Same thing with Kirk Cousins. These guys have the talent, different styles, whatever. These guys both have the talent. Let them do their job that you're freaking paying them to do. You want a game manager? Go get a game manager. You want a guy who can break things open? Let's go, Russ.
Now they want to add potentially Antonio Brown. Hear that rumor?
Don't bring that drama to this house. Don't bring that drama. Go ahead. Next up, Russell's awesome. Next up.
All right. Next up, we're going Josh Jacobs.
What number are we at here?
We're at 22.
22. We're the back end of the second round.
Yes,
we're hitting Mr. Josh Jacobs. Looks like he still has a backfield under control. He has an interesting quarterback scenario. Little possible controversy. Maybe just picking up a good backup.
Yeah, he'll get more work in their passing game. That's the key. If he gets that target share, he's going to be an RB1. If he doesn't, we're going to be having a different conversation next year. But
is he going to get the target share? They re-signed all the catching guys, all the catching running backs. They're like, come on back.
The thing is, when they drafted him, him coming out of the backfield as a pass catcher was his best asset coming into the league.
Okay.
So they need to utilize that because that's essentially what got him to where he was. So I got a feeling they're going to use him a lot more. You might see some Jalen Richard, but he's just, he is.
I have him both my dynasties. I'm hoping they use him a lot more.
That's what I'm saying. So I just think he's in for a big year, and I think that he'll get that work in the passing game to finally take him up into that upper tier of running backs. So that's where we're kind of going with that.
All right, and this is the last pick of the second round, correct?
Yes. No, we're at 23.
2023.
So we got Deshaun Watson.
Oh, I like the way you breathed after you said Deshaun Watson's name.
I do have some, I got my little character thing going in with these guys, Deshaun. Here we go. Still a talent.
Very talented.
But,
he's an escape artist like Wilson.
He is. And now you lose your number one receiver.
Granted.
For nothing.
For charity.
For charity. You get David Johnson, so there's that. But, I still think Watson's talented enough to work with the crew that he has. He's got some speed on that offense.
He does.
Cooks, Fuller, these guys are going to be able to, spread the field out for him. They're going to be able to get deep for him. I think he's going to be just fine in terms of what he does. And I don't see him dropping that far in the ranks for a dynasty quarterback. I think it's kind of silly to go farther.
Do we think Cooks becomes more than Cooks? Do we think he becomes more Hopkins-esque in his route ability?
Potentially, yes. But I mean, like I said, it's gonna be tough for him. It's gonna be tough for anybody who plays Hopkins.
Great, yes, 100%.
You know what I mean? So I think the best thing that you can do with Brandon.
The problem is somebody has to. They can't just run streak routes.
No, you might see him in one of the screen games in the slants. You know, they'll try to get it to him with the little short field passes, give him some room to work. Let Fuller be that guy that kind of takes the top off before he blows out his hammy.
Sure. Right. And then it's all back to Cook.
Then it's all back to Cook and
so he gets concussion.
There. And, yeah, exactly. And, who knows who else will be in there. So,
all right.
But we'll see what happens. I like Brandon Cooks this year. He's a value in
Dynasty.
Value. Something he's big-time value in Dynasty. So, definitely buying. All right. So, number 24, Allen Robinson. One of the most disrespected wide receivers in the game right now. I'm done.
Yes.
It's my boy. I've always been an A-Rob fan. I was buying him all last year for people that were shitting on him. Cannot wait. Give that
with
man
either quarterback, really, right?
Give that man a good quarterback and watch out.
He did good with the bad quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. He's a top 10 receiver with a shitty quarterback.
Now granted, that crappy quarterback he just went,
Yes. And now we got Nick Foles coming in, so who knows what we're to expect, but I still think Allen Robinson is going to be a top 8 receiver this year.
That'd be huge. That'd be huge.
And he's that talented. He's a fantastic, phenomenal route runner.
And if you had to list 2 other year in, year out disrespected wide receivers off the top of your head, who would they be randomly?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Yeah, just making me.
That was total random. Just 2 people you figure go way, way late.
Well, especially this year, Keenan Allen's been disrespected something fierce.
Oh, yeah.
I will tell you that right now. He's been really disrespected. And I would have to say, if I'm going to go down a little bit farther, Adam Thielen.
I can see that too.
He's dropping in the ranks, something fierce. Yep. I mean, I think I saw there was one league where I think I got him in the 14th round. I was flex startup, which is wild.
Yeah,
I'm all about that. Yeah, but
it's a deal.
Older receivers and
getting older.
Yeah, right. And then no Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. All right, let's start our last round we'll cover today. I think we got time. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable. We got time to finish one more round. Let's go hit that third round. First pick of the third round, number 25.
Josh Allen.
Josh freaking Allen.
Again, got the legs, got the arms. They're adding weapons around him. This kid's going to.
When you said arm, did you mean distance or accuracy?
He's going to get better. I promise that. The kid's going to get more accurate. And, he's going to keep improving. I love his talent last year. He was actually a pretty damn good quarterback, too, for a super flex because he gave you that steady 18 to 20.
That baseline, that foot baseline.
Beautiful. Yep. I think he could take it up the next level this year. He's got the weapons. He's got the talent around.
I don't want him to make his middle name Jameis Winston though, with those interceptions and inaccuracy.
Well, let's hope that doesn't go down that road.
Number 26,
Kenyon Drake.
Oh, Kenyon.
So, obviously, we're going to the Arizona system. You saw what he did last year at the end of the year. Guy was tearing it up. He's always been a talent. He was in that crappy system with freaking Adam Gase, who just kills everyone's fantasy hopes.
Sure.
They're about to unleash him. He's going to see 75 to 80% of that workload, I think. I don't think they're going to take him off the field. I think they're just going to feed this kid a lot.
Yeah.
And whether he gets another contract is going to be that's something you want to look at. I think he's got the 1-year deal. They're trying to sign him to a long-term deal. We'll see if that happens. Hopefully it does. If it does, he might even start to move a little bit further up.
Sure. I grabbed him in the Bellagio last year preseason, trying to just lock up that backfield, trying to see what was going to happen with it. Bellagio, even though it got the backfield, turned out to be a fucking flop. But man, Drake heading over to Arizona was a beautiful thing for him. So.
It was great move for him. Excited for him this year. All right, it's number 27, Austin Eckler.
Oh yeah, Mr. Undrafted.
That's what I'm saying, man. He was getting a little disrespect last year, but now it seems like his ADP has gone up through the roof. I mean, when I first started drafting, it wasn't so bad. I was getting like the 5th and 6th round of startups. So I was pretty happy with that spot. Once Melvin signed with Denver, now he's shooting up into the 3rd, even 2nd. So phenomenal player. But will his passing, work be affected by
because he doesn't have Mr. Dump Off there?
He doesn't. But you know what? One of LaShawn McCoy's best years as a running back out of the backfield was with Tyrod Taylor when he was in Buffalo.
All right, so say no more.
It is what it is.
Is Pollard taking all the work from him? Is the rookie taking all the back work from him?
Not that I see, my man. We'll see what happens. I love them for this year. I think he's going to be a phenomenal buy. Number 28. It's going to be a little controversy.
Okay.
A.J. Brown.
Say it one more time.
A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown. Everybody's new hotness.
Now, last year I was not on the A.J. Brown hype train. I made the mistake. And, a couple of the guys from the Undroppables, like my man Jax, my man Terminator, they both said to me one day, they're like, buy the talent, not the situation.
That's a phrase that's real in Dynasty.
Absolutely. And they're just like, stop fading that situation. Just buy the talent. So I started to. And obviously we saw what happened in the second half of the year. Now, is he going to return that value in 2020? He's pretty much the only receiver they got. I mean, they got rid of...
God damn it! What is wrong with you people? He is not. Corey Davis exists. I hate you all.
I knew you were going to go that route.
Oh,
boo! Everyone's calling for the Corey Davis with a 5th or 6th year breakout right now. Like,
especially after seeing Parker do it.
Yeah, exactly. They're all like, it's Corey Davis time. Get him on a new team. He could use a new thing. But what we saw from A.J. Brown was the kid is just he's a beast of a player. I mean, this kid is yak. He's just going to take people down all day.
Absolutely.
So I think him and Tannehill will have another great year together. And pretty much popping him right up there. But I think he can have a better year than people are expecting. That's for sure. Even though it's a run-heavy approach.
He can. It is the alleged run-heavy approach that can always regress down to a less run-heavy approach, giving more to the passing game. They can also be trailing more games, leading to more of the passing game. There can also be injuries leading to more of the passing game. There can be coaching saying, maybe we should pass this ball a few more times. There's so many things that can play into both him and Corey Davis getting more receptions in there.
Or it could be Jonnu Smith. I mean, who knows?
Oh, people are riding that train too. The Jonnu hype is real. That man is an athlete. And
don't forget about the little guy, Adam Humphries, over there, too.
Pronounced with the Humphries.
Humphries, you know what I mean? All right, let's keep on. Let's kind of bang it out. 29. Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah.
Cooper Kupp. I mean, that's pretty much, it says what it says. I mean, he's going to be number one receiver. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. All right, here you go, number 30, Mike Evans.
Yeah.
People
are hating on him.
Give the man respect. He's a 1,000-yard receiver. He's going to put up numbers. Is he going to have a year like Godwin? Probably not. But I think Brady is going to throw enough to allow there to be 2 wide receivers that are going to return value each and every week for that team. I think Evans will have some down weeks, but I think he's also going to have some big boom weeks too.
He definitely has the ability. We haven't seen Brady throwing the same ducks that we've seen Manning throw yet.
No, not
yet. So till he's doing that, I'm not as worried about it. So take that value and snatch him up.
Absolutely. I like him going a little bit later now.
Especially as your second, third wide receiver. Sure.
Oh, money in the bank. All right, number 31. Let's give out respect to my man, Fantasy Star. Owner right now, George. Yes.
You just broke up a few times there. I think you just said George Kittle.
George Kittle.
The Kittles and Bits.
Love George Kittle. I mean, my man, Fantasy Stoner, my man, Terminator, they ride this guy like crazy. And, he's the best tight end in the league. He's the number one option in San Fran. He's going to be the guy they go to. It's, there's not – he's just phenomenal. He's puts up wide receiver numbers from the tight end position. So
yeah, and his quarterback loves him.
Yeah, so. And in a tight end premium, he's a first rounder all day.
He absolutely is.
You got to grab him.
Next up,
we are going to go This is one I don't really like, but I kind of had to. It's Amari Cooper.
Oh, I hate Amari Cooper. I love him, but I hate him.
So do I. I mean, the opportunity's there for him to be the wide receiver one in Dallas. They just signed him to a big contract, so they're going to want to feed him a little bit. But I just don't know if the consistency is going to be there to give you that.
That's the word right there. The consistency for as early as you have to take him. I'll take him in best ball without even looking. I can't do it in redraft, and I probably can't do it in my dynasty team.
I have 0 shares of Amari Cooper. Yeah. I fade him all day.
All right, what number are we on?
33.
33.
Here's when we got a lot of heat for this in the undroppables, actually. Baker Mayfield.
Oh, he needs to be something. I need him for my dynasty team.
Yeah, so obviously the talent's there. He has got a monster arsenal around him.
He does.
There's no reason why he should succeed this year. If he could just get his head out of his ass and stop being that little.
I put up 1, then I put up 2, now I'm gonna put up 3 reasons.
Okay, go ahead.
Hunt. Let me put my fingers down the right order so I don't flip you off. Hunt, Chubb, and his coach. There's 3 reasons he could not have the season that he should have. He has the talent. He has the weapons.
Yep.
It's what do they do with that running back field? Do they just drag it out and run like crazy and hold him back, or do they let him go?
Nah, we've all been talking about it, but again, this is Cleveland. So when you think that they're going to run, they're probably going to pass because every time they say we got this great defense, we got this great running game, it shits the bed, and here they go. They're one of those teams, but Baker is in dynasty. He's a top quarterback right now. He's going to bounce back at least. So
all right, let's wrap up the last couple picks in this third round.
So where are we going to? We're going to 36. So we'll just kind of run down real fast. We got Travis Kelce at 34.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Getting older, but oh yeah.
And then we're gonna finish it off with actually 2 Browns players.
Two?
Two of them. We got Odell.
Okay.
And then we got Chubb.
Oh, wow. So, the Browns wrap up the end of the third
Which is kind of funny that when you actually look at your list after you do it, because you're always looking at the individual positions. Sure. So when you're actually looking at it as a list, you're just like, "Whew, that was I thinking right there." But it's just kind of that's the way it all played itself out.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. Sweet. I'm gonna cheers you on that. Boom, right there. Great rankings. Enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Now we're gonna move on to a listener question.
Okay.
We have just one for you today. This listener question comes in from Mr. Brendan Anderson at BK, as in Burger King.
All right.
The number 2 and COLL, like call with an O instead of an A. Cole. All right, sure. I like it. BK2 Cole. So his question is right here. With running backs carrying so much of a premium now, is 0 running back a viable strategy? We're talking redraft here, not dynasty. I'm going to go with the assumption because you don't really grab running backs every year in dynasties. But with we'll start with redraft anyway. With running backs carrying such a premium now, is 0 running back a viable strategy in your redraft drafts?
I've had thinking about that. I have always been a get your running backs early kind of guy, and I'm going to stick to that.
Early and often?
It has to be. I want to leave the first 5 rounds with at least 2 or 3 running backs on my roster.
I can subscribe to that.
That's always how I've built my redraft teams. Got to have that depth because the thing is with wide receiver becoming so deep this year, there's so much value you can get later on.
Yeah.
So get your stud running backs because they're going to fall fast. Get your wide receivers later because there's going to be a lot more value left in those later rounds. That's just kind of where I'm going with it.
Yeah, I could buy that. League mates piss off on listening to my strategy this year, but if I'm going in the early, probably anywhere in the first round, I'm probably grabbing a stud running back, the best one I can get.
Yep. If
I'm towards the tail end, it's a good chance somewhere in the second round I might take a great wide receiver if there's one that's at the right price there.
Yep.
If I end up with 2 running backs, I'm not going to be mad, but I got a good hunch that the first round is going to be dominated by if you got a 12-teamer, I would say no less than 8-9 running back. It might not be, but once that run gets real, people at the tail end will be like, you know what? It's real. I'll just grab a wide receiver on the swing back. I'm not going to miss completely.
Exactly.
You can't.
It's like I tell everybody all the time. I'm like, let let the board fall to you. See what happens. Don't chase. Let it happen and then adjust from there. Exactly. The running backs are there. Boom.
All right. So let's on the fly adapt that strategy, that zero running back strategy, to, let's say you have a 4 or 5 round, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter. We're really just talking about the first couple rounds anyway of a rookie draft. Yep. Are you still going zero RB in a rookie draft? Are you grabbing the best available? Are you grabbing that hot running back? What are you doing there?
I'm probably grabbing the hot running back, to be quite honest with you, just because the value of them going into that is if worst comes to worst, you can always grab that running back and then
flip them,
dangle them out there.
Oh, sure.
You're going to get some big value coming out of that. And that's kind of what I try to do sometimes, especially in Dynasty. So I'm all about it.
I can buy it. I just want to ask that way just in case I interpreted his question wrong.
No, absolutely, my man. Absolutely.
All right. So here's my last question. It's a multi-parter, but this is the question I'm asking all the guests on the show. So who is a quarterback and then a running back and then a wide receiver that you can easily see finishing in the top 5 this season, but you're able to draft them in your redraft leagues like 13th or later at their position? So it's a little bit of a steal, a little hot steal.
Okay, you ready? I'm gonna bring it right now. Quarterback.
Okay.
Crazy enough, and this will kind of work into something else that we might talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr.
Okay.
It's a crazy take. I get it. But he's got a lot of weapons around him. That defense did not get that much better by any means. So that means if they're gonna win football games, they're gonna have to score some points, which means he's gonna be put into a lot of situations where he's gonna have to throw the ball. In Vegas, going into a new house, they are going to want to light up that screen board. That is the guy that I think, and especially too, he's also kind of on thin ice. So this is a make or break year for him. If he hits it right, he could end up.
It's a very make or break season with him, with the other quarterback sitting right behind him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like he's got to do it now or never. Or he's just gonna be gone. So when you put all that together, he's one of those guys that I like to buy late, like in that range, because he could just pop off and just become looking for that big contract.
Absolutely. And quarterback is probably the easiest place to get that steal. Let's get a little trickier. Let's go running back.
You ready? Here we go. So if I'm going a little bit later like that, David Montgomery is my guy.
Start talking.
I am a huge David Montgomery fan. I've been since last year. I had it all. Everybody knows I'm David Montgomery truther.
Sure.
So, yes, he was inefficient last year with the opportunities he got. I believe he had over 240 carries. He had about 35 targets. That's a big workload for a young running back. Coming in this year, they're going to probably give him a very similar workload because they drafted no running backs. They really added nothing to the wide receiving core.
Nope.
So they're going with that same offense they had. So you can easily pencil in 250 carries. Let's go. And they said they want to get more involved in the passing game. So let's put up to 45 targets. That's a heavy workload for a kid that all he has to do is just get a little bit more efficient on the ground, let that offensive line gel a little bit, maybe get Trubisky out of there. I think he could be in for a big bounce back year.
You're killing me, Smalls. I traded him away. I got the 101, and so I can grab CEH or whoever I want to. You're killing me. But
that's
Smalls.
Okay. So if you get the 101, dude, like that's a pretty good haul for him. Yeah, I've got him for I literally been getting David Montgomery for second-round picks.
There you go.
And
get him for peanuts.
Peanuts.
All
big
right.
buy for me.
Who got a wide receiver? Who's your steal?
So this might not be it's hard because this guy, I'm a big fan of him, but could he be top 5? Potentially, maybe if the volume's there. But again, we'll see. Jarvis Landry.
Sure. Whoa. He's injured.
He is injured, but he is by far one of the most underrated. Like, again, we talk about like the receivers that just don't get the respect.
Yeah.
Jarvis is that guy. Yeah. If anything happens do I think Odell is really going to be anything there? I don't. I know he's talented. I fade him all over. I just don't.
We're running long on the clock to get started on this one.
Baker, I just don't feel it, man. Odell's a hothead. Baker's a hothead. It's not working.
Yeah. I got you.
When Baker started playing right, it's when he was getting the ball in the Jarvis Landry's hands.
Yeah.
Anything happens in that offense where they're forced to throw, it's going to Jarvis Landry. I see a big year out of him.
I can see it. As long as he comes back healthy and ready to go and fired up, I can definitely see it.
Our doc said he's looking pretty dang good.
Oh, y'all got the untouchables.
Yeah, we got the insider right there.
There you go. So let's hit on one or two hot takes before we sign off here.
Okay, so one of them we kind of talked about a little bit already, but one of my hot takes was Joe Mixon.
Mixon
will finish potentially as the RB1.
Oh, I just burned myself. What the hell? What was that? That was your hot take.
That was a hot one right there. That's one of my favorites.
RB1? God damn.
I know. You said you wanted hot, dude, so I'm coming with it.
Jesus. All right.
So again, we're talking to this guy. He's gonna the offensive line is still not 100%, but they're getting back quite a few pieces. Joe Burrow coming in, AJ Green back, Tyler Boyd back, John Ross, whatever. T. Higgins, new piece.
All right, there's plenty of weapons.
They're going to open up this offense. They're going to run the football. Joe Mixon is going to get all that volume. They're going to get him more involved in the passing game. That's going to be the key. He could see 60 to 80 targets this year. Big fan. Will he get there? I don't know. I'm just going to throw out a hot take to say, let's go for it.
I might have to go try and steal me a share when this show's over.
You might have to, dude.
I might have to.
Get that
hot take number 2.
You ready for this one? Henry Ruggs.
Henry fucking Ruggs.
Finishes as a wide receiver 1 for the rookie class this year.
A wide receiver 1. Not the.
No, a wide receiver 1, yes.
A wide receiver 1. Okay.
So we had this big thing on Sunday Dynasty this morning, and my guy, a Dynasty dude, was saying, I don't know if you saw it, but the whole thing was, why the fuck aren't you drafting Henry Ruggs? Because everyone's fading him. I had to go back and just watch some film. I had to go back and look through some stuff.
Doing his homework.
You have to, dude. This kid he's a phenomenal athlete. He's got the speed to break anything. He fell into a system that everyone's saying, it's not great. But if they utilize him correctly in the short screen games, the slants, give him some deep balls, I don't want to say Tyreek Hill, but there is that potential with this kid with his athleticism. Best hands out of the draft class for wide receivers.
Okay.
Phenomenal. So that's where we're going to go with Henry Ruggs, and we're just going to let it out there. And
we're going to need some milk or something.
Yeah.
Spicy.
We're going to piss off the fantasy community right now and just
to it. We'll do it, man. Woo! It's been a good show.
That's what I'm saying.
We're gonna have to wrap it up on that spicy one because my mouth's burning too much.
That's what I'm
saying. Wrap it up because I can't talk anymore because you just burned my mouth.
That's kind of what I do, brother. You'll see it on the other one too.
Woo! All right. Well, on the next show, I'm gonna have special guest Mr. Matt Goodwin from the All About Reality Sports podcast to talk about reality sports online format. And I don't know if you played on Reality Sports Online, but it is the sick auction dynasty contract league. Once you play it, you don't want to even sign up for other kinds of leagues. It's ridiculous, but it's a fantastic show. They got a fantastic pod. He's kind enough to come on, and you're not going to want to miss it. So make sure you go and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. But before we wrap up, why don't you remind all these wonderful people listening where they can find your work one more time before we split?
All right, you can find me on Twitter at the BZBFF.
Wait.
Find me on
the BZB.
That's it, my man.
The Breezy B.
That's exactly it, man. You can also find me on Sons of Dynasty with my man D Brown and Dynasty Dude. And then you can also find me at the Undroppables. And we're obviously at the Undroppables on Twitter. And the website is cantcutless.com. Look for our new pod coming out, and it's called Unscripted is what we're going with right now.
What do we think that's going to drop?
We're hoping that it's going to drop. We're going to do episode 1 hopefully this week or next week, probably.
That's awesome.
But that's me, Terminator, and Paulie going to bring you guys some heat. We'll have some good guests. It'll be fun.
Love it.
We're looking forward to it.
Love it. That's all for this show. This has been Bob's Three-Toed Warriors and a special guest, Mr. Breezy from the Sons of Dynasty, reminding you that soon enough you'll be able to hit the waiver wire, set your lineups, dominate your opponents. But until next time, see you.